What's up, disc golf fans? This is Derek Scull with Gatekeeper Media, and we do have a special guest on the mic beside me today. It is Mike Moser, the Delaware Deucer himself, at the lovely course Stafford Woods in Voorhees, New Jersey, and we are covering the 2019 Stafford Open, driven by Innova Champion Discs. This is an A-tier event, and it is, I believe, the second year of it being an A-tier, and this coverage is brought to you by Innova Disc Golf. So right here, we do have the leaderboard. We are at round one. So right now we have Andrew Fish, Colten Montgomery, Matt Bell, and you, Mike. I do like to see that we have a nice spread of sponsors and manufacturers here on the card. So we get to see kind of a little bit of everything today. And we do have Andrew Fish as our champion of 2018. If you missed that, head on over to our channel. Make sure to watch that as well.
All right, here we have hole 10 to start us off. We started on the back nine, and hole 10's a 257-foot hole, and it requires pretty much a dead straight shot. Most of us will be throwing a mid-range or a putter. We have Andrew Fish on the tee first. Looks like he's throwing, I can't tell,
Looks
putter.
maybe like a putter, yeah.
Yep.
Challenger, maybe?
I know I sold him some challengers, and they were they were all greenish. Oh, he went off to the left there a little. You definitely don't want to be off the fairway on this one because it gets really tight really quick.
Yeah. Really test your scramble game pretty early on.
Yeah, this was a difficult hole to start on because it required such a straight technical shot. Colten hits a late tree, so he should be all right to get up and down for his par. Matt looks like he's throwing a putter also.
And I believe Matt's putter of choice would be the Steadies from DGA. What are you throwing here, Mike?
I'm throwing a rock. I stand and deliver to keep the accuracy.
Oh.
I hit the last tree there, but it should be a pretty easy up and down for my three.
And, you know, that really just shows the just the hole itself is that everybody turned up and hit something early, so everybody's going to have to kind of scramble, and it looks like Colten puts himself within a really easy three range.
You know, and as you can see from Fish's shot, there's a lot of the
like
it
laurels.
went quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
the laurel trees. They create interesting shots here. You don't have a lot of Matt with a solid run.
Yeah, he was really putting a bid on it, and luckily enough, he did hit that stump. Otherwise, he'd have found himself a little far out. And you're hitting chains here.
That's a good confidence builder first thing in the round.
And Matt being the 2016 World Putting Champion, that was a pretty gimme range for him.
Yeah, Matt plays his game definitely. You'll see that throughout the coverage here. It's very aggressive around the green.
All right, so everybody cleans up for their pars.
All right, no harm. Okay, now we go on to the par 5 here. This one's a real tester. Most of us will be throwing a mid-range, maybe a fairway driver. You want to keep it very straight down to this point, maybe a little bit around the corner. And then as the drone's flying here, you want to figure out how to get down this way somehow. End up towards that ditch somewhere if you're playing it well.
On your second, you're
on your
aiming
second
for,
shot.
for being a little past the ditch, maybe?
And if you can get in the middle here somewhere, you can have a AVR type upshot, a putter upshot towards the green.
So now how, starting your technical front nine on 10,
That's a beautiful shot right there.
You get your hardest hole essentially out of the way pretty early.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
This is definitely the hardest hole in the course, and starting with it early in the round is definitely difficult because you're not settled into your game yet. And this hole could definitely turn bad quick and put you in the hole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. Matt hits early, but he kicks into the fairway.
Yeah, it'll be salvageable for sure, but it looks like just a early release.
I'm throwing a flip-up champion eagle, nice and easy, so that I don't have to try too hard.
And as you say, you didn't didn't stand and deliver on this one. You needed to give it a little extra juice.
Yep. Just off the edge. And Matt's way back, short of the corner. I haven't played with Matt recently, and he's been out on tour a lot. And when he threw this shot right here, I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. He progressed a lot, and it was very centered down the fairway. It was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that spotter was not expecting that to come in so hot.
Colten gets down. He's a little short of the ditch, but gives him a chance.
It's a little hard to tell.
Yeah.
You sneak right through. You're right there at the ditch's beginning, right?
Yep. This was funny.
Oh,
there was a lady with like 3 dogs walking right behind Fish, and they were barking when he threw that shot.
Well, it did work out for him.
Matt's in the woods a bit. Has to create something.
Yeah, a little short.
A little short. Long bid, maybe. Fish going with a forehand.
And that's the thing is this hole really does lend you to have to flex all of the different shot types that you may have in your arsenal, depending on, really what side of the fairway you kick to or what you find yourself behind. That northeast woods golf, really
definitely. That's one thing about this course. It makes you create a lot of shots and, like you said, use everything you got. Colten's got a good lie.
Yeah, and Colten, that was a great approach here for Colten, and he's no stranger to this event. He did earn himself some highlights on our coverage last year.
Matt with a long bid. Trust me, he won't be shy with this.
No, I think that's one of the highlights of watching Matt play is that he's just really aggressive when he needs to be. Just a little low.
Yep. I'm close on that basket.
Well, hitting metal on your putt approach,
yeah.
2 for 2 now. I think you're starting to settle in, get dialed in.
So there, as you can see, Matt was out near circle's edge with his aggressive first shot, and no problem putting it in.
Okay.
Solid putt by Fish.
Yeah. It's always good to walk away with a birdie on this hole.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the par on this hole either. It's actually difficult to get that birdie. Very nice. There's a nice birdie. 2 birdies, 2 pars.
Not bad. Pretty good spread. And then going into hole 12.
Hole 12, it is a slight uphill the whole way. This is one of the holes they changed this year from what you've seen in the years past. They moved the pin back just a little bit, tucked. And it was right there where you see him before, and as you can see, it's back in the holly tree, so they created a bit of an obstacle. It changed the shot a little. You had to go deeper straight for most of us. Fish was playing an inside route. He wanted to go just left of that tree.
Yeah, and it looks like it pushed him maybe a little down that hill, too, so he's going to have to really fight upward.
Definitely a tough spot to be.
Yeah, and the thing about this hole now is that the green is just so small.
Correct.
So, I mean, if you're at circle's edge, you could be in the thick of it.
Yes. But Fish was trying to avoid that by taking that inside route. It's a little tighter, a little more technical. But if you hit it...
That's circle's edge right there.
You land, yeah. I threw that eagle again, and I missed through it and went down Fish's route. And as you can see, it can work really well.
Did Fish have anything to say about that?
I'm sure he did. As you can see with the laurels, Fish had to throw an upside-down shot to get through there. There you go. There's a good look at the lines you get in this course right there. Good up by Colten.
Yeah, it's not really there's not really much hazardous underbrush here, but it's just there's a lot of trees.
Yeah. And there's no straight lines. Like the straight lines are above the laurels.
Oh wow.
So there's a nice putt. 2 nice putts in a row by Fish. for my misthrow deuce.
All right. Living up to the nickname. All right. Easy par.
Easy par.
And we're going to take a minute to hear a word from our sponsors. Welcome back, folks, and a big shout out to Innova for sponsoring this coverage. We're going to jump right into hole 13. It's going to be a downhill, finishing to the right. The average person of the new school variety is going to throw a right-hand sidearm, but it looks like you step right up and go for that Annie.
Yeah, really it's a straight shot. If you can just throw it straight down the hill to that last big tree you see, you're only 15 feet from the pin.
It looks like you connect on the last possible one.
Yeah, I think this is like the most difficult, easiest hole on the course.
I believe Fish was throwing a thumber.
Yeah, he threw upside down, definitely. Colten goes
sneaky.
Back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That happens a lot on this hole.
Got lucky, yeah.
You're trying to turn it a little, and you go to the right, and it sneaks through there.
And it's about a 50-50 percentage of it working out for you. All right, well, Fish does find himself a gap here. Brushing off the ultimate skills he's got.
Definitely. Matt's got a look, so you know he'll be running.
Yeah, it looks like he got clipped up by that tree there, clipped his leg, so threw him off a little bit more to the right than he wanted to be.
Still left him a little work. Making an easy 3.
All right,
there's Matt.
Solid connection.
I was definitely excited to be playing with Matt at this tournament. He's one of those people that every time we've gotten together, we feed off of each other well.
That's great.
So I was definitely excited to be playing with him. But we still need to get going.
Yeah, and Colten is the only one walking away with that birdie.
So hole 14 here, we have slight uphill, turn to the left, fade back to the right. It plays well for a forehand shot, for a righty back, a righty or a lefty forehand. What am I trying to say? Anyways, they'll be seeing a lot of righty flicks. Turn them over, have them hyzer out.
I got stopped up there pretty early.
I go old school here. I have a really beat up Cobra. I decided to go right through the middle of the thickest part of the trees.
That seemed to work out for you.
Yeah. My line isn't quite working yet. Fish going with that forehand.
Exactly
also.
what you were talking about.
That's exactly how it should be played right there. It's a beautiful shot, Fish. And Matt going with the forehand too looks.
His is a lot straighter, yeah.
Yeah, that was very straight. Wow, but it worked out good.
Yeah, even startled the camera guy a little bit. All right, well. All right.
Good putt. Fish seems to be putting well so far.
Oh, wow. Uncharacteristic here, and that needs to stop. All right, well,
wow.
You know, it rolled a little bit, but again, this shouldn't really be any trouble for Matt.
I was surprised to see him miss that.
Yeah, he's just taking a minute to recollect here.
Yep. Yeah, I was probably making a joke about how bad my tee shot was. It still worked out.
Yeah, nice tap in too.
Thank you. Okay, hole 15 here. You want to get a long straight drive as far as you're comfortable with coming out of this tunnel. Definitely want to make sure you get out of the tunnel and out into this field. Like I said, the further the better. And then your second shot, a lot of us, I throw rollers in with the second shot. It also plays well for a righty forehand or lefty backhand.
Because you have a little bit of that backstop here.
Right. That's one of the reasons for the roller.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this hole is, we mentioned it in our FPO coverage, but, either side of the fairway here is still in bounds. It is going to add a little bit more technicality to a run-up just because it's a little more uneven. So the name of the game is definitely staying as middle as possible, if not more to the right, just to give yourself a little more room. Is that correct?
Yes. Very good. I landed in the tall grass, so I get to deal with that run-up you're talking about. Colten here, you might see, he's definitely the long bomber of the group.
Yeah, crushed it and was affected in a positive manner with that air bounce. Pushed it just another probably about 50 feet off of that.
There was quite a bit of wind coming around in this corner.
Which is really hard to read because you're surrounded in the woods there, so, it really could be in any direction.
Yeah. And even when we were out here in the field, it felt like it was coming from any direction. So I try that roller. I get it a little to the right.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like you're going towards the top side of it.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's where I ended up on the top side. Matt's dealing with that tall grass you mentioned. He also looks like he's going with the roller. That's more where you want to be. Oh, caught a tree.
He does have good line of sight from that lie, though, so.
Fish also trying a roller. He looks like he preferred my line. Nope. He got it.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he's back up top.
Yeah, that's going to be a dangerous putt.
And Colten with the forehand. Oh,
I was going to say that looked like it had a chance, but
it did. It's a difficult green to access. There's just enough trees, and there's pretty much like one or two lines you got to try to hit to get down in there.
And I think Matt really playing it safe here. Probably overthrew it a little bit more than what he wanted to, but really just making sure that it's finishing to the right so that he can dump into that retaining wall there.
I'm just trying to lay up. It's a difficult up coming down that hill.
Yeah, you had a little bit of an obstruction in front of you too. So
Colten makes a nice up.
Wow, it's a tight line there.
He's giving us a chance. Nope. That tells you how much the downhill actually is around there. Matt in his favorite spot. Out by the circle.
Just making it look easy.
Fish another good putt.
That's the thing is really you could say half of the putting game is really just your confidence.
Yeah, Matt definitely has that. There were different times during the round he would say stuff to us, and I'd be like, Matt, not all of us have Matt Bell brain.
All right, now we're going to take a minute for a word from our sponsors. Welcome back, disc golf fans. We are starting back up at the 16th hole here. It is the only hanging basket on the course there. And it looks like you have command of the box here. So what's your typical goal for right off the tee here?
That right there. Just throw a nice, safe, easy hyzer. You don't need to get too far. The biggest part of this is landing in bounds.
Mm-hmm. And with that wind, you really could pose a challenge there.
Yeah. The wind was like I said, fish goes with a mid-range here. Just trying to keep it straight, keep it in bounds.
Yeah, and
don't have to get that far.
Very, very well maintained right up the gut. Colten looks like he's about to try to crush this, just taking all the real estate of that box as possible.
He is, but he's just throwing a big hyzer, which is a safe play, making sure he lands in the middle. He just throws pretty far.
I think it's that Colorado muscle, you know.
Eagle showed him a thing or two about distance. Matt also puts a little bit more on it, but he plays the safe type hyzer shot. Make sure he lands in the middle.
Looks like another mid-range shot for fish. It was a little hard to tell.
Comes up a little short. I know the wind was doing like 3 different things at once here, and I was having a hard time figuring out what I wanted to do. So I decided to throw it out to the circle's edge myself.
So now, was your mentality there to really just try to get like a heavy hyzer to kind of stick into the ground where it landed?
Yes, that's what I try to do. I seem to have trouble with this hole, however. I can't focus well on where I'm trying to land.
Do you think that has something to do with the elevation of the basket?
I do. It doesn't give me a good focus point.
That makes a lot of sense. Where it's like the ground underneath it is like, you know, mulched, but that's still not a pinpoint.
Here I am, just inside, a couple feet inside the circle.
Oh,
nice solid run.
I look a
Here I am, just a couple feet inside the circle again. All right.
I mean, for being self-said that you don't typically enjoy this hole, taking a par, walking away with it, you know, just kind of keeping your head in the game from that point forward is really the best option, right?
I guess. It's very frustrating because it is a pretty basic hole as far as this level of play. These guys were throwing AVR up shots with hyzers, and that's where you should be, where they are. But Fish and I walked off with the pars. Yay! I think is that his first birdie on the round?
It might be.
Yep. Here we have hole 17. This is a 520-foot, very difficult shot. You want to get through those trees we just passed through definitely to have a chance at your par. Now, if you see the mulch here, you got to kind of follow that path if you want to have any chance of getting close to the hole. But
the fairway here is tight.
It's very tight, and you don't want to hit early like that. He stayed in the middle, though, so it gives him an opportunity. So.
Yeah, he was probably keeping it a little further left just to anticipate that flex.
All right, that's turned a little early. The hard part of this, you have to get it out really far before it starts turning to the right. So you need a really, really beat up red turn.
That you just hyzer flip there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that one's out of here.
Yeah. That one's going to give me a chance at the eagle.
I mean, knowing, because you knew where you had landed, obviously. So, I mean, walking up to your lie, what's going through your head?
Well, I had never eagled this hole, so I was definitely had a lot of butterflies going on in the stomach. I was nervous, and there was anticipation. You know, I definitely wanted to make it. So all that was going on while I'm walking down the fairway watching these guys throw.
And what are you doing to keep your head in the game in that respect?
Not even sure.
Just living in the moment. Right?
Yes, definitely. Now, this was a great shot. Matt was very out of position, and he followed the wood chips that the club had put down.
Like the yellow brick road, right?
Exactly. We talked about those wood chips, and it was amazing the job that the volunteers here did on this hole, especially.
Yeah, I would say the volunteer group and just the people that are heavily involved in this club are, you know, something to be rivaled with nationwide. I mean, it's hard to find a club as dedicated as them.
I agree. Wow. Great long run by Fish.
Yeah.
So here I am just outside the circle with my chance for my first eagle on the hole. Ooh, it connects.
And how does that feel?
Oh, it feels good. I got a little smile.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of emotion out there. But I want to give a shout out to Cameron Messerschmidt, who hit this hole from about 45 feet for his deuce in the same round.
Wow.
And also Mike Carmen, who threw one in from about 80 out, he said, on this round. So there were three.
So there was eagles in play here, huh?
Yes, there were 3 eagles this round.
Well, that's great.
Hole 18 here. We have a 285-foot hole. The route that drone's flying isn't where anybody throws. There's
no. It's just we had to do that just for flying's sake. But there is kind of a cheater.
There's an inside
cut
route.
The elbow off of which is what you're taking right now.
Yeah, I threw it way too high, way too hyzered. So most of us, I think we're all throwing putters on this hole. I throw a flip up AVR. Take a guess what Matt's throwing.
You mean a putter? Like,
yeah. What kind of disc is that?
Really, it's typically like anything under 300 feet. Would you say you're comfortable throwing a putter on?
Well, I am. I just meant what type of disc. He's throwing a very interesting disc, Matt. He throws his glow fly.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. You don't hear that too much.
No. We talked about it a bunch. He loves that disc.
Ooh, wow. What a bid.
Yeah. That was a lot closer than you would think. But at least you had a position like this. I'm about 45 out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That last hole must have sparked me.
Oh, wow, right through. And he's not happy about that one.
He's been putting well, too. Matt with his glow fly.
Throwing it upside down, too.
Yep. That's 3 in a row for Matt.
He's picking up late in that front 9.
Yeah.
A lot of green on Colten's card here. All right, so that concludes our front 9 coverage of the Round 1 2019 Stafford Open. Here are our standings thus far. It looks like you are in a lead.
Yeah. Thanks to that eagle.
Yeah, it's it's been a close race thus far, but really it could be anybody. Only one stroke between really each of you cascading down that card there. Anything could really happen in the back 9. So stay tuned. Follow us on our YouTube channel and make sure to catch the action for the back 9 coverage of the 2019 Stafford Open.